Yo, what is going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I was actually able to wall ride what I'm going to be calling the light rail over here. So if you guys have ever seen this location, there's actually a few challenges in the story or the campaign over in this location as well that has you guys doing some tricks similar to this. However, I decided to take it to the next level after deciding to build my way up here. Now you can actually walk on up here. I'm going to show you guys how it is. You can actually do this for yourselves if you want. It took a little bit of testing, honestly, and this location's right here in the Market Mile district. Now, at first, I tried to go and just get a lot of speed in here, and it turns out you actually can wall ride both sides on the inside and the outside. Now, I really wanted to wall ride along the outside, as you can see here, but I also wanted to activate a grind and also try and make my way all the way around. So this took me maybe like 20 or 30 minutes and definitely was mostly due to the way that I had this built out and the difficulty when dropping down. But overall, I definitely had a lot of fun with this little challenge I made, and I want to show you guys how I was able to make it a little bit easier on myself. So after walking up here, you're able to attach different types of objects as long as they're touching something else. So I found a flat ramp and attached that there so I could get a nice manual going. Now I chose to do a front manual due to the fact of the angle of this ramp. I figured it'd be a little bit easier to actually keep my balance and make my way all the way around. Now I also wanted to have some more space when I was coming down from this ramp. So I added this in here as well, at least just on the left side. Now I had a different ramp down at first, but it was too high up and I was getting way too much speed. Now, the problem with this is that if these aren't perfectly flush, you actually will have a lot of trouble trying to get your manual to activate and also getting over to the light rail itself. But as you can see here, after a few tries, I was able to go ahead and get this one down as well. So I was playing on expert controls, and after trying for about 10 minutes, I found that I had to continue holding in the direction I wanted my character to go with the left stick, and it actually made it a lot easier to wall ride. Now you also need to get a little bit of speed so you can make it over that little lip that is on this thing as well, which was a little frustrating. But if you fall in at the right angle, you can actually kind of avoid it. So as you can see here, once you're in, I was personally doing the front side nose manual because I found it a lot easier to control and keep your balance. So this was only one of my first attempts. And after training with it for a few minutes, it's honestly a ton of fun to get the hang of this wall riding. It's honestly a lot harder to do in the manual if you want to just go in on normal. But there was a few separate times where I was actually able to make it all the way around this thing and even landed into some pretty epic combos as well. So like I was saying, this is only one of my first attempts and I only was able to get better at it as I progressed. Now, at first, I didn't really like the spot in the campaign or when doing the challenges in this area, and I thought this was a pretty pointless or useless object, but after coming back to it, this is by far one of my favorite places in the game. So there's endless amounts of ways that you can actually achieve this due to the fact that you can put objects anywhere, but this was just the way that I chose to do it. And the only real tip that I can give you, especially if you're playing on experience, is to just keep pressure on that left stick. And I suggest doing the front nose manual. That's what I did to get all the way around at the very end. So I'm going to let some of these highlights and clips play out so you can see how many times I went around this because it actually was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I will catch you in the next one.